So the second thing that you need to do in order to really dominate the market for your wholesale business is that you need to find the right buyers. What point is it to get a house under contract if you can't move it? I've really seen a big uptick in wholesalers getting properties under contract, under a purchase agreement at a really high price, and they can't find a buyer because, let's be honest, it doesn't make sense for these investors. So you're getting these contracts, but you can't move them. At the end of the day, that's not great. You're not getting any money out of it. You're not moving anything. You get a bad reputation. So, building up these leads that are coming through and getting these purchase contracts is very, very important. It's the first part of your business, but the second part, you have to move them. You got to have these buyers. So how do you do that? Something that we're seeing and that I've done before is Constant Contact. You might use a similar website like MailChimp, something like that. Any way to get kind of marketing blast emails sent out. Another thing is Facebook, and then also cold calling and SMS. Constant Contact, when I first started a couple of years ago, I was like, this is great. This is genius. You can send emails to everyone. But again, with the laws and the regulations kind of limiting spam, basically, you can't really do a whole lot. And with Constant Contact, you have to follow many rules. And unfortunately, like I said before, I'm sharing with you not only the good stuff that I've learned, but also the bad stuff. There was a point where I got locked out of Constant Contact because I had added so many emails in a day that it was suspicious. So they flagged my account. And at one point I had almost 40,000 buyers that I had just accumulated, that my bosses had accumulated, that my partners had accumulated. We have one account that we're doing it all under. And so I had to go through and manually scrub any bad emails, any emails that bounced, any emails that weren't active. And I spent hours retroactively trying to clean up the account. In the long run, yeah, it was probably a good idea that I should do that to make sure you have good emails, that you have people who are actually trying to engage in your stuff. But at the same time, there was a chance that we could have lost our account, and all of that work, all of those years of networking and building these relationships could have been lost because of not following their guidelines, their strict guidelines. Also with Constant Contact, how many emails do you get a day? I know I get a lot. I get so many emails that sometimes I miss the important ones because I'm just being, again, bombarded with spam, with lots and lots of houses. I'm on lots of wholesaler lists as well. Just tons of stuff coming in. It's like I just don't have enough time in the day to even manage them. Not only that, but do the numbers make sense? Does it have the content that's going to really engage with these buyers? Does it have everything listed for them? You really have to have the right information in order to get someone on there. Years ago, Constant Contact was great. I had so much engagement, and it's really fallen off lately. The next thing is selling your property or your contract from Facebook. Facebook is a double-edged sword. I love Facebook. It's free. You can get out there, you can network, talk to anyone. This was my jumping point in selling properties that were not in Texas. So I've done stuff in Philadelphia, New Jersey, North Carolina. This is how I made that possible, was through Facebook. So thank you. But now it's so much. And I get feedback from my buyers and my investors that there's so much happening on these Facebook forums that it's just too messy. It's too much for them to go through and read through all the comments, to put their email on there, or to go back and forth. It's not worth their time at the end of the day. So I found in my experience that people who actually are cash investors don't really spend a lot of time on there. With Facebook, you get a lot of other wholesalers. Let's be honest. Lots of daisy chains. Not saying that's a bad thing. If someone else can move your deal, great, perfect. This is your opportunity to JV a whole nother sector. But if you're wanting to move it, really, Facebook is not it anymore. And then the other thing is cold calling. Also, we'll tie in your text messaging with that as well. How labor intensive is this? At least with constant contact, I can write up one email. It goes out to thousands of people. I'm one person. I am limited. I can only make so many phone calls in a day. I can only do so many text messages in a day. Even if it's from my personal phone, I can only do so much. This is also really manual because you're having to keep track of who likes what market are you in, what's your price point. Again, it becomes very, very manual on how to reach your buyers. So if constant contact, if Facebook, if text messaging is out for buyers as well, what do we do? How do we reach these people? SEO. I mean, I hate to just kind of keep saying the same thing over and over again, but SEO is the way to go. On HomeBuyer SEO especially, not only do you have warm inbound leads coming from your sellers, they also have a spot on their website for investors to have an account and kind of go through a marketplace on there. Think of it kind of like eBay, but for houses. So you can post your house on there. You can put all the information about the house. You can post pictures. You can post walkthroughs. All of the information that you would normally put on Constant Contact, on Facebook. I know there's a couple other websites that you can pay to be a part of, but they are a little bit limited on the what you can do and how you can use it. But the investor marketplace through HomeBuyer SEO, like I said, it's kind of like eBay. You post your stuff on there, and you have a couple different ways that you can sell the property. You can either do a auction type sell, or you can do a buy now sell. So this is a really great option. It puts all of your leads, all of your houses, all your properties, and all your buyers in one spot. So I know when I used to have a really, really hot property, and I first marketed it, sent it out on an email, I would get call after call after call. And even while I'm on the phone, I'm getting calls coming through. I'm getting text messages coming through. And I did my best to try to call everybody back, but sometimes stuff just fell through the cracks because you were getting so many calls at once. I know, kind of brag moment, problem to have, right? That's not my point. My point is that it was too much to manage as one person. So by creating a marketplace like this, all of your buyers and investors can go to this spot. They can submit their bid for your property online. So you're not missing phone calls. You're not missing text messages. If someone, I've had investors call me at 2:00 in the morning wanting to make an offer. So if they're on your website, again, your website works for you at all hours of the day. If they're looking for properties at 2:00 in the morning, they don't feel guilty, or there's no professionalism being crossed of reaching out to you at 2:00 in the morning on your website. This also helps you keep track of all the stuff that's coming through. So you really can evaluate the offers against one another. You can see, okay, offer A is offering this, offer B has this, and you can really pick which one is best for your situation. And once you select one of the offers, it's super easy to send your assignment. HomeBuyer SEO, again, not only does your website for your inbound leads, it's got the marketplace on there, but they also include a CRM that's all integrated together. And their CRM offers an e-signature system as well. So now you're not paying for an external third-party DocuSign, anything like that. You can upload the template of your assignment, and with a click of a button, it inputs all the information. So it puts the address, it puts the legal description, it puts, all of the information in there, time-consuming stuff that it takes to write a contract, puts it all in there, and then with the push of a button, it sends the assignment. Like, super, super easy. When I was doing Dispo, I love Dispo. I love selling houses. Hate the paperwork. Although it's not that hard, it's on a template, it's just time consuming, it's not the fun part. So, if we could have had this when I was doing Dispo, I would have loved this and I would have preached it just because of the easy process and how simple it is to send something out. So again, HomeBuyer SEO makes it really easy to find the right buyers to sell these properties, makes it a super simple process.